2, 1. Good morning, good morning, good morning. It's your senior moment, day number 17, 340 out of 620 calisthenics for the month, 27,290 push-ups, sit-ups, deep knee bends for the year. That is the goal. And remember, it's young living or assisted living. You can make your home a healthy home, but it all starts with you, and it starts right now. Over the years, in the last decades, I've been in and out of thousands of houses. And in that time, I began to pay attention to how I felt when I was in the house. I noticed some homes made me feel really good right away when I walked in, while others were heavy and, well, just unhealthy. I wondered if it was my imagination, so I made a point to study and make note of what makes a home a healthy home. So over the next 10 minutes or so, I want to share with you exactly what I found out. Well, there are many elements to a healthy home. Today, I want to talk just about 3 of them. Remember, these are not exclusive, but they are important and a good first step to understanding what makes a healthy home. The 3 elements I want to explore today are air quality, mold, and general cleaning. We will begin with air quality. Keep in mind, we are never going to achieve perfect conditions, but progress is worth the effort. In fact, Theodore Roosevelt said, "It's hard to fail, but it's worse never to have tried to succeed." So let's try together. Start with air quality. Dr. Sherry Rogers is credited with calling the phrase, "The solution to pollution is dilution." More fresh air in, more stale air out. That's the theory behind the air-to-air exchangers that you find in houses built after 2000. Active air exchangers recapture about 80% of the heating or cooling in the home, while permanent fan ventilation simply replaces air from outside to inside. Both run through the home's HVAC system and your existing furnace filter. But what if the outside air quality is poor and you're just sucking the bad air inside? So let's talk about air filtration. According to the FDA, N95 mask filters filter out 95% of airborne particulates, including large and small particulates. This is a PPP mask used in hospitals by doctors and nurses. Standard HEPA air filters remove between 99.97% and 99.99% of particles as small as 0.3 microns from the air stream. They're commonly used in hospitals, operating rooms, patient isolation rooms, pharmaceutical processing facilities, and similar locations that must meet strict air cleanliness standards. The air filters are manufactured, tested, and certified and labeled in accordance with the current HEPA filter standards. High efficiency particulate absorbing is what that stands for. The professional opinion of HVAC engineers is that they strongly recommend, before attempting to upgrade any air filters, with more efficient filters that cause a higher pressure drop in your air handling unit. You may not have enough capacity. There are 3 main options to improve air filtering in buildings: upgrading to more efficient filters, which we discussed, while staying within the operating capacity of your current ventilating system; upgrading to an even higher filter efficiency, but also upgrading your ventilation, which requires changing the furnace out to overcome the additional pressure drop; or using portable air cleaners with high efficiency filters. Now, these can be a complement to a HVAC filter upgrade, so they can be used as an alternative when an upgrade is just not possible. Air filters are not only a preventative measure against airborne pathogens, they also capture inorganic pollutants like particulate matter, improving your indoor air quality in general. A good option may be a portable HEPA air purifier that will take care of filtering the air in a single room or an entire level of your home, and they can be quite expensive initially, and they work quite well, and are seeing more of them. We are seeing more of them in homes as we tour around. The ultraviolet germicidal eradication, UVGI, is a disinfection method that uses short wavelength ultraviolet UVC light to kill or inactivate microorganisms. These devices are being used in hospitals, homes, restaurants, and any place where people gather. I could spend an entire time on the first topic, but I just wanted to discuss a related item. And that is the second thing I wanted to speak to you about, and that is mold in the house. Notice I said that mold in the house. Keeping in mind that mold is a natural occurring organism and is in our environment both inside and outside the home. You know, quite a few years ago now, golly, it's got to be 15 years ago, we built a development down in Lakeville, and our model home was on the corner. We're backing up to a wetland area in a lake, and it was Orchard Lake, and we're in the model and sold the model to a gal. And after about a month or so, she called and said, you know, I got mold in the house. I can't breathe. It's irritating me and whatnot. And so we called in a doctor from St. Cloud, University of Minnesota, St. Cloud, who was a mold expert. So he came in and they measured the mold inside the house and outside the house. And they said, you know something, you have more mold outside the house than you have inside the house. But we did install a HEPA filter and it seemed to clear it out. But the point is that she was backing up to this wetland area, like to have her windows open, and they were drawing mold and spores inside the home. So when we speak of molds and mildew, we are generally talking about the black mold that we can see in the basements, under sinks, and on the windows. Mold needs two things to grow: water and a medium to attach to. The easiest way to prevent mold is to prevent moisture from collecting on any surface that would be a good host site for the mold. Recently on our radio show, we had a mold expert talking about detection and removal of dangerous molds from structures. She informed us that once mold attaches and begins to grow, you cannot clean it away. I repeat, you can't clean it away. The host material has to be removed or sealed. Those tiny spores will lodge in the medium and will remain there for years until there is moisture. And then suddenly you see mold growth once again. Mold shoots out spores in order to spread and grow, and those spores are an irritant. That can be dangerous when they're breathed in, and that's what bothers you. Here we have a situation where filtration can help prevent the symptoms of mold, but can't remove the source. For that, the source of the mold's growth environment needs to be removed and corrected. Now, the third item I wanted to talk to you about is the products that you spray, express, wipe, and plunge into your house and on your body every day. Why is it that in many homes, the kitchen cabinet, under the kitchen sink, or in the bathrooms have a child safety latch on them? Think of those familiar blue bottles. We all know what we're talking about. You know the ones. They have warning labels on them that say, if ingested, you know, the contents come in contact with your skin, to call the local poison control center. So I wonder, when a person washes their dishes with these blue poisons, then serves food on them, is there an amount of that poison that is attaching to the food and you're ingesting it as you eat? Well, I don't know about that, but what I do know is that according to the CDC, cancer is the second leading cause of death in the United States. 1 of every 4 deaths is due to cancer. In addition, the CDC reports that new cases of cancer is steadily on the rise. So when we wash our floors, scrub our bathrooms with poison that burns your skin and your eyes, it stands to reason that this is not a healthy home activity. There are many fine and effective plant-based products that do a wonderful job of cleaning. They're pleasant to use, and they have no warnings to call the poison control center on the label. So how do you know what to look for when you buy? I say read the labels and look for the warnings. Does the brand actually make the product, or do they just market it? That's important. If they only market it, they most likely do not have control over the production process or the ingredients. Look for terms like packaged for or bottled for on the label. That tells you that they don't make it, and most likely they don't control what's in it. Quality assurance is essential to look for in a company that owns the process. They own or control the farms, they harvest the crops, they produce the product from start to finish, and that's the only way you can be sure. Sheila and I use products just like this in our home. We have our favorites and we have vetted them thoroughly. So do your research. Choose wisely. These plant-based products are not expensive. In fact, we find they're quite reasonably priced and in many cases cost much less to use than national brands. So if you'd like to find out more, just go to the link tree in the bio. We'd be happy to share what we use in our home with you. In closing, I want to say that it's our attitude about our home that will make the biggest impact. Have an attitude of expectancy around the products that you choose to bring into your home. Expect them to be healthy and check to be sure that they are. Earl Nightingale said, "Don't talk about your health unless it's good." And you can live in a healthy home, a home that supports and nourishes a healthy and vibrant life and family. So act today. And you can be talking about how great your house makes you feel because you live in a healthy home. Okay, so my grateful moment for today is a plug-in strip. You know the ones I'm talking about. It's a strip that you plug it into the wall, and a surge protector, if you want to call it that, but they've got about 5, plug-ins in them, 6 or whatever it is. They're so convenient because we have so many devices now, and our outlet capacity in most of our homes just can't accommodate. Most of the current of our devices is low, so you can have one thing plugged in and have 4 or 5 devices plugged into that. It's so darn convenient. We've got them all over the house. So the plug-in strip is my thing I'm grateful for today. All right, so I've done most of the calisthenics. I'm going to just wrap off 20 quick sit-ups and then we'll get on with our day. All right, remember we're coming up next week. It's next month, it's 30. So we got a don't skip any. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. All right. So if you like your senior moment, please make a note in the comment section. I really appreciate it. And then share it if you will. I'd really appreciate that because this is your senior moment. Remember, the older you get, the longer you want to live. We'll see you tomorrow.